Welcome to the Northfleet School for Girls BBC School News Report. I'm Emma.
I'm Destiny.
And I'm Abigail.
Today we have a jam-packed lineup full of local news.
We have many interesting reports including Ebbsfleet Garden City, NSFG World Book Day, Winter Olympics, latest weather report, tuition fees, Ebbsfleet United FC and the student leadership at our very own school, NSFG. For the first project, we have Mariama and Megan explaining a new project that will change Ebbsfleet.
The Ebbsfleet Garden City is a project that intends to make a safer and cleaner community within Ebbsfleet than the local area. This project will allow around 27,000 people to live there. This would mean 13 new primary schools and 8 new secondary schools. There would also be over 12,000 new homes built in the newly developed area. The project started in 2002 when they were given permission to start.
Some of the proposals are a transport hub will be developed connecting to Ebbsfleet International and Northfleet stations, providing interchange with fast track and local bus. On local bus there will be a shorter amount of time to get to places such as Paris, which would take around 120 minutes.
For health, there would be more greenery for people to enjoy outside, there would be more gyms for people to use, and there will be more parks where people can walk and get more fresh air. It is very important to the developers that there's a huge push on Healthy Town, and we feel with the amount of outside space and new and improved facilities, this is definitely going to help the cause.
There will be different areas that people could live in so that all generations can interact in the new city. There will also be 10 new walkable neighbourhoods and transport would be provided, something which the local community will be very keen and proud of.
These houses, aimed at all different generations, are at a reasonable price, making an affordable and sustainable city. We are very excited to see the development grow, as this is a very exciting opportunity for the local community. We have asked our assistant head for some of his opinions about this.
If you were to design a new garden city, what would you expect and why?
Within the garden city, I would expect lots of green spaces, affordable housing for a certain majority, pedestrianised and lots of cycle routes, maybe some sort of a tram, maybe if we're going garden city, maybe a zip line, a bit jungly.
Okay, so how will it impact NSFG, if at all?
I suppose it possibly numbers might increase at the school because it's a massive housing development in a close area, but I think they're building a school there as well. Possibly travel in the morning, because whether or not you are cancelling, well not cancelling, but stopping traffic within the centre of this new garden city, there's still going to be increased population, thereby increased cars on the roads, and that A2M2 stretch is pretty busy as it is.
And back to the studio.
Thanks for that, girls. World Book Day is an annual celebration spent on the 1st of March. Now we have Gemma and Vivian talking about the record-breaking World Book Day.
Hi, I'm Vivian.
And I'm Gemma. We're going to tell you about Northfleet School for Girls World Book Day.
This event happened on Tuesday, the 6th of March 2018 in this school.
We attempted to break a Guinness World Record of how many people dressed up as characters from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
The recent record was 250 people.
We beat this record by 9 people.
So now, the new record is 259 people.
Earlier on, we interviewed Miss Bleak.
But before we get to that, we would like to thank all Year 5 students from Painter's Ash who also contributed in this event.
We would also like to thank all the students at NSFG that took part in this event.
And last but not least, we would like to thank all the staff who put in the time and effort to actually arrange this event and dress up really nicely. So, now, let's see how the interview went.
What does World Book Day mean to you?
World Book Day for me means an opportunity for the whole school to come together and to celebrate a love of reading and literacy, and actually the importance of reading and having a really good reading age. And I love seeing the amount of effort that everybody puts in, staff and students included.
Okay, why did you choose the Alice's Adventures in Wonderland theme?
Good question. So this year, every year we try to do something different, and this year I met with a group of teachers and we were trying to think of something fun and different for World Book Day this year, and one of them came up with the idea of why don't we just see if we can break a Guinness World Record. So a lot of research went into seeing which records were out there and which we would potentially feel like we'd be able to beat, and Alice's Adventures in Wonderland sort of looked like one that we could possibly beat.
What was your favourite part of the day and why?
My favourite part of the day was, or it has to be, when everybody was in the sports hall and all of us at Northfleet School for Girls were sat there, we'd been counted, we were ready, and then the Year 5 students from the local primary school entered to also be counted, and you guys sort of erupted into this round of applause to congratulate them for joining in and for how amazing they looked. And I just felt so proud to be part of Northfleet School for Girls and such a fantastic community.
How did it make you feel when we broke the world record?
I felt so proud that we sort of have beaten it. Obviously it needs to be verified, but I felt an immense sense of pride and was so excited and happy that everybody had managed to join in, and the hard work paid off and was worth it.
Are you planning to hold another exciting event like this in the future?
Yes, I hope so. I hope for as long as I'm here or wherever I go that we will have many adventures and events like this. I think it is so important, and I love hearing student feedback from the day and staff feedback and parents, and I definitely want to have more exciting events throughout the school calendar year, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Bleak.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That interview was fun.
Yeah, now,
Back to the studio.
Well done to the students and staff of NSFG and their trust schools. Tuition fees are a huge part of every student's life, and the government are now looking for ways they can reduce the worry it can bring. Now we will hand over to Kimon and Bethany explaining in more detail.
Today we will be talking about tuition fees and the impact they have on people's lives. My name's Bethany.
And my name's Kimon.
And here is our report.
Tuition fees are one of the main reasons why people are getting into debt. Only 38% of students say tuition fees are good value. There are pros and cons for paying tuition fees.
The cons are that it can cause some people to go into debt and be in debt years after finishing the courses that they have paid to take. It can limit who is able to get the tuition, and not everybody would be able to afford it unless they travel a long distance, which could potentially cost more with renting a dorm.
The pros are that they can get education that could affect their future jobs. Another pro is that they will provide extra income for universities so they can compete on world stage in terms of research and education. Now we're going to show you our interview. We're joined today with Miss Davis, a member at Northfleet School for Girls, to see what her opinion is on tuition fees and whether she thinks they should be scrapped or not.
Only 38% of students say tuition fees are good value. What is your opinion on this?
I think that the amount of money that people are paying to go to university compared to the amount of time they actually get taught, they're really poor value, because some people are paying £9,000 a year and they may be only getting 10 hours a week of tuition. So I think that's really poor value for money on the whole.
Do you think it is necessary to go to university and be in debt in sixth form just as good for a qualification?
It really does depend what sort of job you want to do. For example, if you want to be a teacher, you have to go to university. If you want to be a nurse, a doctor, then it's a university profession. But there are lots of other things that maybe going and getting an apprenticeship might work for. But I think therefore it's morally wrong that if you want to be a doctor, you've got to pay a tuition fee to then do something you're going to go and save someone's life, but you're paying for the privilege of getting that qualification, aren't you?
What is your opinion of the quote, "It is right to look carefully at how the current system is working and to make sure that it works best for students"?
I think that is really, really important, because I think if you're going to get yourself into thousands and thousands of pounds of debt, you've got to know that what you're getting is the best education you can. But we've also got to consider, as I said, the fact that if you're paying tuition fees to do a job that you can't do without going to university, so is it right that to be a teacher now I'd have to get myself in debt? And I know that I couldn't have gone to university if that was the case.
Do you think tuition fees will be a struggle to most parents, and why?
I think for some parents it would be a huge issue, and spoken like last night I spoke to a year 7 parent who said to me that she's already got a savings account because she wants her daughter to go to university. So she's giving up holidays and things to save for university. And I know that for me, my parents couldn't have sent me to university if I'd had to pay.
Overall, do you think tuition fees should be scrapped?
Yep, definitely. I think that firstly, they're not value for money. There are lots of people who can't go to university maybe because of the fees. And for jobs where you've got to pay fees, why should you, got to get, a degree, why should you have to pay a fee?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
As you have seen, we were able to interview Miss Davis, a member of staff at Northfleet School for Girls. Her overall opinion is that they should be scrapped, as you should not have to pay to get a degree in order to get a job that pays more. 9 out of 10 people have said that tuition fees should be written off.
Overall, the majority of people are saying that university tuition fees should be scrapped due to the expenses of the fees and could potentially leave people in debt.
That is interesting. What do you guys at home think? Moving on to more Northfleet School for Girls news is Amira, Emily Jane and Isabel interviewing staff and students about their leadership roles.
Thank you, Emma. I'm Amira here with
Emily Jane
And Isabel.
to talk about the student leadership at NSFG.
The leadership roles at NSFG are the head girl teams,
Positive relationships ambassadors,
Leader of Learning, Sports Ambassadors.
and many, many more. I have a PRA, and I think I couldn't help myself with my worries, but I want to help other people with theirs.
We will also be interviewing a set of teachers, starting with Mr. Smith, who's the head of student leadership at NSFG.
What do you do as head of student leadership?
So my job is to make sure that students obviously are pushing themselves in the classroom, are being leaders of their own learning and making sure that growth mindset is a massive push. So they're not giving up and they're resilient to failure. It's my key features that I'm looking at.
Why do you think student leadership is important?
It's important because in the world we're in now, you need to be able to have that kind of independence to make your own decisions and have your own kind of, skill set, and knowing that you can fail and get better. That's what employers are looking for. That's what the future is looking for, people that can have creative think around problems and problem solve.
What roles are there for students to take on as student leadership?
In the school, we've got the you've got the AR readers, you've got the PRAs, you've got the head girl team, you've got my leaders of learning that are coming up, you've got the council. There's lots of things going on that can help with the leadership inside the school.
What do Leaders of Learning do?
Leaders of Learning will do, because it's not happened yet, but when they will be, there'll be role models inside the classroom. So you'll be looking at people who are showing growth mindset qualities all the time, that are consistently pushing themselves in the classroom, for other students to be able to go to them and go, how am I going to get through this? I've made a mistake. How do I get past a mistake? Or how do I push myself to be better?
Then we went on to Mr. Norwood, our head teacher.
What is your job as head of NSFG?
My job is to make sure this school runs really well and to make sure that you leave with excellent results. But actually something that's really important to me, you don't just leave with excellent results, but actually that you leave with a really exciting future, that you go into aspirational careers and you have all the skills you want to do really well. And my job is just to try and make that happen.
Why is student leadership so important to you?
I think following on actually from what I said there, something I'm really passionate about and been passionate for a long time is that you go out there and you don't just become the workers of the future, that actually you become the leaders of the future. And I really believe that our girls in the school are capable of being leaders of the future and making a real difference in the world and shaping our communities and our cultures. And that's something that I've just been passionate about for a long time.
What advice would you give to aspiring leaders?
It sounds like a little bit of a cliche, but I would say actually be yourself and know what you're passionate about. Because actually leaders to me are people that want to make a difference. And there are leadership skills that you can learn, but actually the true mark of a leader is someone that looks and says, actually I want to make a difference, I want to make a change. I think that I can make something better. And if you want to do that, you need to know what it is you want to make better. And if you know that, then actually you're already a big step towards being a leader. The rest of it can come.
What do you think student leadership has on the school?
Well, sorry, could you answer that question again?
What impact do you think student leadership has on the school?
I think student leadership has really changed the culture of the school here. I think on two levels. First of all, when people learn to become leaders, they actually push themselves more. And when you push themselves more, you work harder in class and you do better in your lessons, and you aspire to do more. But actually, I found student leadership is brilliant in terms of improving the school, because there's been a number of occasions thinking about things like PRAs, or we've had simple things like sort of changing the canteen food. We've got a group I know are looking at whether we can get solar power for the school. But there's all kinds of different student leadership where students are taking a lead and making a difference, and the school is getting better. And what I like about that is you then feel you've got played a part in it. Yeah. And I think it really has changed just the way we operate, and people feel it's our school rather than a school that's been run by me or the senior leadership team. It's your school and you're helping to run it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Finally, we went on to interview Miss Idzdiskowski.
Are students more proactive in your lessons?
Yeah, so as a teacher, we need to make sure in general that the students are being proactive, but it seems with that confidence and them, getting along and having those relationship ambassadors and that leadership, the girls seem to be, more engaged and more confident, so with that they can be more proactive as well.
Do your students take ownership in your lessons?
To be honest, yeah, they actually do. So when there's homework and things like that due, they definitely have it done. They know what the consequences are if they do not have those pieces of work completed as well. So when they actually see that as a teacher, or there's other students helping them to make sure that happens, then they know to take ownership in my lessons and to make sure that they are rewarded if they take ownership as well.
Ever since the student leadership scheme, do you feel as if your pupils have gained more confidence in themselves?
Yeah, definitely. So, in and outside of school, you can see them volunteering or doing, parents' evening, etc. So that shows, a lot of skills there, as well in lessons when they have to volunteer or when there's extracurricular things like we've done the science fair. You've seen loads of girls, wanting to participate, and that's also due to the leadership and having that ownership as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, and back to the studios.
It's nice to hear that students are involved in school. Next up, we have Leah and Darcy updating us on the scores of local football team Ebbsfleet FC. Over to you.
Thank you. After looking at the data received from games, the top 3 scorers this season are Daniel Kedwell with 14 goals and 100% accuracy, Jack Powell with 9 goals and 100% accuracy, and Luke Colson with 7 goals and 100% accuracy.
Wow, they really are good at Wow, they have very good accuracy. They're quite hard on the leaderboard, I hear.
Really? What place are they?
They're 9th. Well done, Ebbsfleet. Keep up the great work. Do you know who they're playing next?
Yes, the next game should have been against Gateshead, but it has been postponed to another date. This we are still trying to find when. As soon as we know, we will let you know.
But the next game they will be playing, if all goes well, is against Maidenhead United.
Ooh, 2 strong teams against each other. Good luck, guys.
We interviewed a 6th former, Will. He's a huge Ebbsfleet fan.
Yes, he is. Here's the interview.
We're currently here with one of our 6th forms and also a Ebbsfleet supporter. So, how long have you supported Ebbsfleet Football Club?
It'll be 10 years this May since the FA Trophy final, which they won back in 2008 against Torquay.
Are you impressed at how they're playing this season?
Yeah. I mean, considering that they got promoted last season and they're relatively near the playoffs this season, I think it's better than what I would have hoped for at the start of the season.
Do you think they could move higher on the leaderboard?
I would hope so, but I mean, I think at the start of the season, my personal idea was to just secure their position in the league. But thankfully, they're doing a lot better and pushing for promotion.
Would you change anything about the team? If so, why?
Not really at this stage. No, I think admittedly it would take some time to adjust to the new league. But I think give it a few seasons, then they'll hopefully be in League 2.
What's your favourite player? Who's your favourite player on the team?
Oh, it's got to be Laurie Wilson. I think coming from Port Vale, which is a league club, then make a transition from league football to non-league football, I think is something to be admired. I'd say. She's quite.
What do you think of the new stand?
I absolutely love it. Considering there's had some stark opposition from the local council, and I think it's brilliant that it's finally happened, and I can't wait to hopefully see the other 3 stands if the council ever allow it.
Thank you for for answering these questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, and back to the studio.
Congratulations on the games you have won. Keep up the good work. With the Winter Olympics finishing and the Paralympics starting, we have Amelia, Caitlin and Fatima updating us on what happened and the success of our local athlete Lizzie Arnold.
Thanks. Our focus today is on Lizzie Arnold. She's a Grand Slam winner in skeleton.
This is a sport that requires complete focus, state-of-the-art equipment, and a mixture of self-belief and determination to reach the top. Not only that, you need power and resilience, absolute precision to reach to the end. This is a fantastic sport in the Winter Olympics. This is skeleton.
Lizzie Arnold, MBE, made a place in sporting history after winning every major title in her sport of skeleton in just 407 days. Lizzie won her first World Championship gold medal at the 2015 Olympic Games. Then she went on to win her European title and the overall World Cup title in 2013 and 2014. Lizzie is the second athlete ever and the first British slider to hold the Grand Slam titles at the same time when she was the Olympic, World and European champion.
Her rise to Olympics champion in just 5 years shows her focus and determination.
Here is our interview with our supporting teacher.
Now we have a Canadian teacher who will answer some questions about Canada's success in the recent Winter Olympics.
How do you feel about this year's Winter Olympics?
I thought it was really exciting, from opening ceremonies to the closing ceremonies and now the Paralympics. It's been really, really exciting to watch.
What's your favourite winter sport and why?
Ooh, I'd have to say probably luge and skeleton, just because it's the closest I feel to Olympian when I go tobogganing down the hills.
Have you been to any Winter Olympics?
I haven't, no. No, they're really expensive and far away.
As you must know that Canada have been doing well at the Winter Olympics.
Yep.
Why do you think that they have been?
Because Canadians are amazing and a lot of the sports involve snow, and there is a lot of snow in Canada.
Lizzie Arnold is our focus. What do you think about her entry in the Winter Olympics this year?
I think it's been amazing. I think she's incredibly brave to go head first down a chute of ice.
Who's your favourite Winter Olympian?
Anyone Canadian or support, and basically anyone who has the guts and the dedication to practice their sport and just really be fantastic and enter. So all of them.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
How interesting. Back to you in the studio.
We are all very proud of Lizzie for what she has achieved. Finally, we have the weather with Jessica and Samira giving us a heads up for what is to come.
Good afternoon, my name is Samira.
And I'm Jessica.
Recently, Gravesend and the UK has been hit by the beast from the east. Freezing weather is set to deport as much as 5 centimetres of snow on the southeast. Temperatures look set to plunge by 10 Celsius by the time the weekend arrives. Today we will be giving you a rundown of the weather forecast in Gravesend. The rain will be clearing northeastwards, turning brighter with a few showers. There will be clouds and persistent rain that will quickly clear during the morning with winds, easing, allowing brighter conditions to develop during the afternoon. A few heavy showers are likely to develop, but remaining mainly dry and bright around the southern counties. Maximum temperature will be at 12 Celsius. Tonight there will be light winds and occasional showers, but the minimum will be at 5 Celsius. Now I'll be handing over to Jessica, who will be telling us about what we'll be expecting on the weekends and more about the beast from the east.
Thank you, Samira. Hello. Continuing from the beast of the east, we will be expecting a winter storm with worrying feet of snow. It will cause blizzards and even power outage in the UK. The beast of the east has affected many families by schools being shut down for nearly a week and being trapped in their houses. Let's hope it doesn't come back. During this March weekend, we will be expecting light snow showers and likely be combined with bitter snow, northeasterly winds. Possibly it will become less colder again later in the week. Any snow showers on Monday will soon turn to rain. The temperature will decrease to 0 Celsius and will continue being cold with highs of 2 Celsius. There will be yellow warnings, so stay safe and try and stay in the warmth. Through Monday to Tuesday, we will have sunny spells throughout the days of the week, highs of 4 Celsius. Now back to the studio.
Thanks for the heads up, girls. That is it for today's news.
I hope you enjoyed our report.
We will see you next time.